Welcome, everyone, to the MDM Show. You know, it's so good to be back. We've missed you, and I'm sure you guys have missed us as well. But we've got a super duper lineup. Not only starting with today and going into September. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But I want to take a moment and introduce the guest that we have tonight. And of course, let me start with myself. I am Donna Whittington. I am the co-host with Peter Schenk, of course, the host, executive producer, if I can call you that, Peter. And
keep
we're
my
back.
ego going. I love it. Keep it going.
Healer extraordinaire. So,
Thank you.
well, there you have it. So we're back. We're ready to rock and roll and have a lot of fun, as you know us to do on this show. And I already see you guys lining up. And I hope you saw the post. Okay, I put a post on Peter's page, and I'll transfer it over to the Modern Day Mystic page as well, just so people know. If you want to be part of the show tonight, I need you to connect with me in Facebook, okay? And you can either go to Peter Schenk's page, send an email saying, hey, pick me, or you can go to the Modern Day Mystic page, Facebook fan page, and you can say, pick me, just so I know that you are interested in being a guest on the show. So we are going to have Bob Wonder tonight, and he is going to do a facilitation with a lucky member of our audience. So let's get that going. And before I bring on Bob, Peter, it has been a minute.
Donna,
how are you?
how are you?
We missed you.
I'm well rested, thank you. I had 30 days of rehabilitation, and I feel amazing. And we're back for season 2 of the MDM Show. We've got an amazing lineup, starting with Bob Wonder tonight. As you were mentioning before, we need a guinea pig in the audience tonight to post on Facebook. And just Donna will go over the bare minimum, what you got to do to get on, and then Bob will work with you in a little while. So I've been, I wanted to take the month of August off, and I did. I was on a 3-week hiatus doing what I had to do, but I was still working during that 30-day period to bring you the new 12th Project 4.0, which should be out in the October timeframe. So if you continue to look at the Facebook page, I'm doing what I do best, which is making everyone drool with some artwork and some of the capabilities of the new software and exactly what's going to be delivered. But I will tell you, the 12th Project 4.0 is built on a more advanced version of the Aquaware engine, just like the Source 4 was. And then if you've been playing with the Source 4, you know exactly what you're going to be in store with the 12th Project 4.0. It's going to be mind-blowing, and that's all I'm going to say about that. So, without further ado, Bob, how are you?
I'm well. Real excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Right on. So I was looking at your website all week, and you got some really, really cool stuff on there. So throughout the show tonight, if you want to just tell people how they can get in touch with you, with your website, your name, maybe your phone number or address, whatever you want. That's all good. But please share with us and all of our listeners what you do.
Okay. Well, I did something that was very interesting. I was a successful, engineer, married, income, property, great career, and all that other stuff. And I ended up having a cosmic 2x4 hit me. People dying, relationships falling apart. We all have massive change. But I wanted some serious answers. So what I did was I sold all my possessions, and I put on a backpack, and I had no plan, no nothing, no input. And I said, okay, universe, have your way with me, and let me know what the synchronicity of this world is, because all of this other stuff doesn't work, and I'd like to really get a handle on what does work. So I spent 4 years pretty much just walking the earth, I guess is a good way to say it. Ended up living in Asia most of the time, and just learned to connect with the energies of the earth, the synchronicities of the stars, the planets, and this consciousness that we are dancing with and playing upon is really profound, and it really did come through. And then after that, I wanted to expand and connect more. So I moved to a very spiritual high mountain valley in Colorado. It's the Tibet of America. It's Crestone, Colorado. And I live as a renunciate. So I live in a 12-foot diameter yurt with no running water and no electricity. And what that does is it allows me to get out of the human chatter, out of all of the electromagnetic fields, all of the programming, and literally deprogram myself and allow nature and allow the planet and the cosmos to help me remember myself. And the amazing thing is that it actually worked. And so here I am, and so what I've been doing is I've been remembering who I am. So what does that mean? A lot of people say, well, anybody can say that. Well, of course you can. So when you ponder the construct of who you are, for example, you can put your awareness into the middle of the universe right now. Now, if you put your awareness into the middle of the universe, that means that you exist there. So that means that you are an infinite being. So you have access to the entire cosmos, and you can bring it down into this physical construct if you'd like to do that. In addition to that, you have this body thing. And this body was birthed by your mother and her 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 mother. So that's your ancient biology. So the cells in your body have memory and they have consciousness, and you are literally trillions of years old. So that's your ancient biology. So this dance that we're doing is our infinite being and our ancient biology coming into this physical dance that we're doing on the earth. And that consciousness comes in through the back of the heart, translated into emotions. We're emotional beings first. And then it comes up into this mind thing. This tiny little space is where the stinking thinking and the analysis paralysis and the gerbil wheel of impossibility occurs. So we're addicted to the mind in our society and on this planet. So would you like to operate from the infinitesimal tiny little space of the mind, or would you like to operate from your infinite beingness and your ancient biology? So if you open yourself up to the possibilities and just be an allowance, all of these awarenesses and this consciousness starts coming into what you are perceiving, and all of a sudden you have a greater capacity and your toolboxes become bigger and everything becomes expanded. So what I did then was I looked deeper and I said, okay, so I've got all this awareness online and I've remembered myself. I can actually remember incarnations from 230,000 years ago, which blew me away, but there it is. And as I started to remember this, I said, well, how can I help and affect this world? And I found myself going into these places which are called the in-between places. I call this slipstream place. So in order to understand what this in-between place, you kind of need to understand what we're doing as a planet in this area. Did you have a question?
Where did the name Slipstream come from?
It came to me.
That's pretty cool.
It came to me. Slipstream is like if you're driving your car down the road and you're moving through a bunch of molecules of air, and these molecules of air are getting bashed on the front of your bumper as you move through them, and then they're kind of moving along the sides of the car, and then they come back together, hopefully in a nice way, but it's usually turbulent, and then it becomes calm. So there is a space that's in between your car and the molecules, right next to the car, and that's the slipstream space. So there is another space that is a space that's sort of in between dimensions and in between parallel realities. And this is the space that I call slipstream. Does that make sense?
Very cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So if we look at what's happening with a natural dimensional evolution of what should be occurring on our planet, you could say that first dimension is the idea of us. It's the iron core crystal of the planet. Second dimension is the space between the core and the surface of the planet. We call this the telluric dimension, and there's a tremendous amount of consciousness there. And then there's 3D, which is physical, 4D, which is intelligence, 5D, which is all life and all nature, 6D is love, and 7D is magic. And the dimensions continue to go on in this way. So there was a time when our dimensional evolution was actually hijacked, where fourth and fifth dimension got flipped. So what would happen is we would go through an incarnation going to fourth into fifth dimension, think we're going to move into sixth dimension, into this beautiful place of love, and all of a sudden we're back at fourth dimension. Well, how did that work? Well, I incarnate again, do it again. I go to 4 to 5 thinking I'm going to 6, and all of a sudden I'm back at 4. Well, that was weird. And then I incarnate again, same thing happens. Incarnate again, same things happen. So that's what was occurring with us as a species for hundreds of thousands of years, like a evolutionary incarnate broken record. So yeah, go ahead.
So there's a lot of stuff you can read out there about the dimensions, and I mean, I have my own experience clearly with all of this, but I don't want to bring that into your conversation. But I do want to ask you, what is your perspective on all of this dogma that's out there that the third dimension's we're all gonna slip into the fourth dimension, or you know what I mean? There's a lot of reading material out there on all of these dimensions kind of coming together, and everyone's got their own idea of what's going to happen, how it's going to happen. What's your perspective on that?
Well, my perspective is that we were stuck in a dimensional feedback loop, and that once we had enough conscious beings on the planet, we could actually do a leapfrog beyond fourth and fifth dimension and achieve the sixth dimensional space. And we actually achieved that on December 21st, 2012. That was our species' 100th monkey. And so there were actually enough conscious beings on the planet to get us into that sixth dimension.
So let me ask you a question. So I obtain a lot of information to build products that I create and put out in the world to help people. And that information, I used to call it the Akasha. I used to call it the rabbit hole. I still mention that once in a while. It's now, other people, a more new agey name is the Akashic Records. I never had to meditate to get there. I never had to do anything. The information just always presented itself at the perfect time. So I could sit back and ponder about an equation for a very long time, and the answer wouldn't be there, but I could go to McDonald's, but not that I would go to McDonald's, and boom, it would just pop out of left field. So in retrospect to what you do, how does those dimensions, what's happening to me in that point in time?
Okay, so what you are doing is part of you is existing in these other dimensions simultaneously. So there is, so you exist, you're a multi-dimensional being. So you actually have part of your essence that's existing in all of these dimensions multi-dimensionally, where your consciousness concurrently in this space right now, you are actually in eighth dimensional space right now.
Would that make me a space cadet in this dimension? Because I've been called that many times.
Well, sometimes that happens because what happens is you put your consciousness way out there, and this happens to me a lot. And I'm out surfing the dimensions, and then people are asking me stuff here, and you are a space cadet. You're like, oh my God, what was that guy's name? And what? Huh? What was? And then you got to like get back and get embodied. So the other part of this is there are parallel realities concurring within the dimensions simultaneously. So not only is there a dimensional unfoldment that's a natural evolution of our being, but there are these parallel realities that are occurring simultaneously. So that means that you are existing in hundreds, if not hundreds of thousands of parallel realities concurrently as you are here in this dimension and this reality. And the thing about it is you have access to all of these. So I can do a guided meditation with somebody, and let's say if you want to be a golf pro, I can take you to the parallel reality where you already are a golf pro, and then I can have the twin you then teach you how to be a phenomenal golf pro. You can even exchange places with you and feel what it feels like to be a golf pro, and then you bring all of that knowledge and information back into your construct in the here and the now, and that opens up your pathways then for becoming, evolving, remembering, and having the experience, the full-on experience of the golf pro.
That's pretty cool, because when I work with people, I always talk about one of the things I specialize in is seeing energy and everything. And if you can see it, you can control it. And if you can control it, you can send it on its way. And a lot of times the first peeps out of people's mouths are, why did this happen? They start feeding energy into the past, which really doesn't do us any good justice in the now, because you know who you are, where you want to go. But a lot of times those energies aren't created internally. I explain to them that there's an infinite amount of realities that rage around us all the time. And there's energies that transverse those realities. They're very much like mindless sharks. They're predatorial, they're very smart and conscious, but they're mindless in terms of what they are. And their one directive is to find you, bury itself in your light body, your physical body, and then feed on you over time and wreak havoc on the body, mind, and spirit. So in my reality, I see these things very, very easily remotely with people. And they're generally 1, 2, or 3 tiers depending on what needs to be done. Some requires a little bit more work than not. What's your experience with these energies kind of transversing your physical reality when you're doing what you do?
Do you mean external energies affecting your human experience? Is that what you're asking? Yes. Okay. So these are called entities and implants, and they can be multidimensional. And the thing that's really strange is there is a very powerful implant that we all agree to take on when we come to this world. And what this implant does is it prevents us from having our memories. So if you're a star seed, you originated from the stars, and then you came here with your light, and you're going to contribute to that. It's like all of a sudden you take on this entity that doesn't allow you to have these memories. Or if you're a telluric being, which you were birthed from the inside of the earth, and then you come up onto the surface then, and you're having this incarnation, you can't remember what it was like to be in the earth, and you can't bring that consciousness into the here and the now, at least in a cognitive way, but it still exists. So what has happened, there is an implant that it's like a biological life form that's split into 2 dimensions. And then what it's done is it's hooked onto 2 people simultaneously. So if one person removes their implant, it just comes back on, unless you remove them both simultaneously. The other version of that is if there's a near-death experience. So that means there's an implant holding on to your body. The implant knows that you are its universe, and it's terrified. It's hanging on to you like, oh my God, I'm stuck in this human, and I don't know what to do. I'm hanging on, and it smells bad, and I don't know what to do. I'm hanging on. And all of a sudden,
hey man, can you do that 5 times really fast?
Yeah. And so the human dies, right? And it's liberated. And it's like, oh my goodness, I'm free, I'm liberated. Hey, there's a whole universe to go out and play in all of a sudden. So the thing about it is these implants can be removed, and we have a lot of them. The other thing is we have these things called entities. An entity is just any sort of consciousness that doesn't have a body. The important thing is not to get worked up about what it is or where it came from or anything. The most important thing to do is to contribute to it so it will make a better choice, because living in your body is really not that much fun. For example, if you have an entity in the bottom of your foot, it's not a very fun place to be. But if you open it up and show it that it can go play in the universe, then all of a sudden it can do that. So a lot of these physical ailments that we have, a lot of the times, like if you're having sore knees all the time from sports or walking around or something like that, it could be that you've got an entity in that location, or you have an implant. And there's a quick and easy way to remove those. And that's a lot of the work that I do. So yes, they exist multidimensionally, and they can move through the parallel realities as well. So when you get clean and clear in this dimension, then all of a sudden you have the capacity to move in your full potential as what you came here to do as a human construct. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. So how have you coordinated all this information and refined it to help people?
What I do is, see, I'm Bob Wonder. That means I'm the question, right? I'm the infinite possibility. Now, a bunch of people gave me this name when I was 12 years old. They used to call me Wonder Bob. And I kind of grew up, and so I go by Bob Wonder now. But what happened was, if you use this concept, ask and it is given, it actually works. And this is how you communicate and talk to the universe. So if you've got something going on, let's say you've got a relationship thing that's going on, and you're wondering, like, why is this relationship so difficult? I love this person and I want to be this person, but it's very, very challenging. So you would say, well, what am I not getting here that if I was getting would allow me to move into a space of beautiful, interrelating love and grace and peace and calm with this person? And what would it take for that to happen? And anywhere where I'm not allowing that, would I be willing to cancel, clear, rewrite, reprogram all that a trillion times over? So when you ask that question, would I be willing to cancel, clear, rewrite, reprogram all this a trillion times over, what you're doing is you're expanding the situation. You're expanding it through the question. When you expand something through the question, you actually break through the dimensions and break through the realities, and you're accessing more of all that is because you exist there. And then once you do that, then there will be a bunch of judgment that's attached to whatever the energy that is. So then you would ask yourself, or the other person that you're asking, would you like to release any judgment that's good or bad or right or wrong? And I say stops, starts, fields, secrets, blocks, and overloads. What that means is there any judgment that you took on when you did something the first time, or maybe you took on judgment you did something the last time, like let's say in a past life, and you said, I'm never going to do that again, except then you entrained it into all of your other lifetimes, and it's not appropriately applied. Anything that's in your resonant field, any secrets that you're hiding from yourself, anywhere where you're blocking yourself, or anywhere where you're overloading yourself. These are the ways that we create judgment. And yeah. and it's very, very interesting. So that's kind of how it works. And so what I can do and what I teach other people to do through this slipstream intelligence work is we bypass the brain. Because when I start asking questions, people try to figure out what the heck is going on. And it's the figuring out, that's that stinking thinking part that dampens and creates a polarized reality on a particular situation that doesn't allow the expansion and the movement into a greater possibility. And so by a rapid fire asking of questions, I totally bypass the brain, bring up the energy of the body, clear the judgment. The person receives a mini quantum leap in consciousness. Then I do it again and again and again and again. And this is how we open up our pathways.
That's pretty fun getting. Is David Shear going to join us, Donna? We're just going to take a quick pause.
So
while you're
the message, and I'm waiting for the response. Hey,
okay,
David Shear. David Shear. Can you hear us? Come hang out with us, David. And look at your phone.
This is a good time. I want to do a source 4 activation now on abundance. So I'd like everyone to go ahead and get a glass of water, and I'm going to share my screen out here.
Cheers, everybody.
Okay, we're going to set up an array here quickly. Again, this is a mass activation for abundance. So everyone's getting their glass of water. I'm just going to start setting this up, getting that feel right. Okay, for those that are new to the technology, there's really nothing required of you except to have in your mind's eye a very crystal clear definition of exactly what abundance means to you in your life. That can mean you need more money in your bank account. It means spending more time with your children, more time with loved ones, whatever. There's no wrong answer. The only thing that the software requires is an absolutely crystal clear version of what abundance means to you in your life. Now, three things are going to happen. One, water prep is going to run. Water prep is going to remove the memories and the energy and the structure from the target water. The water can be a glass of water next to your computer. It can be a case of water downstairs in the refrigerator. It can be a gallon of water on the other side of the country, or my favorite, a cup of coffee on Mars. It absolutely doesn't matter where the target water is. The only thing that is required of you is where you put your attention, the intention will go. It was very interesting during the pre-show and our time spent with Bob, we found out that the man that really pioneered, quote, the power of intention was Wayne Dyer, and he has passed on. So I think before the end of the show, we're going to have a moment of silence for him. And I'm going to pull him into this activation to help us really understand what the power of intention is. You know, and your intentions create your reality. So again, this activation is going to be for abundance. So water prep will run for 8.1 seconds. User prep will run. User prep creates a thin veil in the water. That's the first energy that goes into the body when consuming the water. It opens up the subconscious mind for acceptance, followed by an 18.1 seconds of the water actually getting nuked. But prior to that, we also have the light paths that get set up in the pre-nucleate. The light paths run for 8.1 seconds. The pre-nucleate runs for 8.1 seconds. The light paths, again, in traditional manifestation, you have a thought form in your head, you put the thought form out there, the universe comes by, grabs it, moves it upstream in your reality, starts creating the reality, so it makes perfect sense when it comes into fruition. That's traditional manifestation. What happens and why most people fail at it is because they have doubt or worry, and as soon as you have doubt or worry, that thought form is destroyed and you have to start over. The source 4 protects the path, that is, by the time by which you release it from your head and it comes into fruition, and we call it the secret sauce. So without further ado, I will count backwards, 3, 2, 1. I will click on enter the source 4. Where you put your attention, the intention will go. 3, 2, 1. Water preparation is running now. We're removing the structuring, the energy, and the memories from the water. User prep is running. We are creating that thin veil within the water. Pre-nucleate is running. We are getting the water ready for the light pass. We're setting the light pass in the water now. Again, all these first 4 are 8.1 seconds each. And now we are nucleating the water with the manifestation that you want to bring into fruition. You don't have to stare at the water. You don't have to hold hands and sing Kumbaya. The only thing that is required of the user is where you put your attention, the intention goes. That is it. Okay. Now, I'd like everyone to go ahead and drink as much of their water as they want. First thing you'll notice is the taste and the texture of it is completely different from what it was before. Then I want you to notice where the energy from the water is going in your body. And many of you already know how this works. You'll feel the light paths coming out of the body. These are the intention with, you know, your manifestation with the source 4 doesn't come from the mind. It comes from the light paths that come out of the body. The universe grabs it, brings it upstream, and then we'll return it and protect the path. And the path is the time by which you release, the light paths are released from your physical body to when it comes into fruition. How we doing, Donna?
We're doing good. I'm chatting with people in Facebook and on YouTube because we do have interest in wanting to come on the show, and people are struggling with having their cameras available to be able to get on the show. So that's kind of what I'm working with as you guys are.
Well, I'll continue my dialogue with Bob, and we'll give it another 10 or 15 minutes, and at that point, if you have not filled the spot, you are the guinea pig. Okay?
Maybe. Okay,
There's no maybe.
I've worked with Bob. Bob's a Bob is great to work with. You bet. So go ahead, do your dialogue, and of course, there are some folks who are interested in being on the show this evening and would like to. So folks, chat with me in the email. Thank you.
First come, first serve. So, Bob, how do people approach you? What's the methodology you use? Do you use questions? Do you use geometry? Do you get with them in person? Do you do it over the phone, over Skype? How does it work?
I can do it over the phone, and so I do a lot of personal sessions over the phone, which really works out well. I can do it via phone or via Skype. Skype's a little bit better because then I can see what the body's doing, in the person, and then I can read the energetic field a little bit better. I can read the energetic field on the phone, but it's better when you get a visual as well. And then when I'm working with somebody one-on-one, we're doing the same thing, except I'm doing a guided meditation. They're relaxing on a massage table, and I'm doing a light touch on some of the meridian points on the cranium that also kind of there's these points that sort of activate your interdimensionality, in your body, and then I can flow energy through you, and then the bonus of that is then I can give you a bunch of different energetic activations as we go. It's like having Reiki on steroids. That's
nice.
So it's good.
So I do have a question for you, Bob. Could I ask a question at this time?
Yeah, please do.
Okay, so Maria wants to know, how would I know if there's an entity that's associated with my bowels and intestines? How would I clear this?
Okay, what's her name?
Maria.
Oh, hi, Maria. Thank you so much. So, Maria, if you think that there's something that doesn't belong to you that's in, on, or around your body, energy, space, or consciousness, the best thing to do is to expand your energetic being. And then that way, it's like if you're contracted in a pipe and I'm trying to clear that pipe out, if I expand the pipe, then I've got access to all these things and I can kind of read my energetic signature. So this is how you do it. I'll just walk you guys through it. Very easy. Open up the top of your head, connect to the cosmos, bring all that energy all the way down your pranic tube, your central column of light into your heart space. Open up your perineum or the base of your spine and connect to the earth, and then bring all that energy up from your base into your heart space as well. Now contribute to your heart space from above and below. Make that very, very light. This is really basic stuff. You guys have probably already done it. Now fill and flood your entire body with light. Now expand your awareness beyond your body 1.5 feet into your auric field. Now make yourself as big as the room that you're in. Now make yourself as big as the building that you're in. Now make yourself as big as a city block. Expand outward, making yourself as big as the entire town. I'm actually feeling Maria's blockage in her bowels right now. This is very exciting for me, I want you to know. And now make yourself as big as your state. Moving out as big as all of your continent. Making yourself as big as the entire Earth. Now moving to the solar system past the Moon, Sun, Mars, Jupiter, Pluto. Making yourself as big as the galaxy, and finally the entire universe. So anywhere where you're not allowing yourself to know, be, perceive, and have the awareness of you as an infinite being, anywhere where you're not allowing this, please cancel, clear, rewrite, reprogram, all that a trillion times over. So in your bowels, I can feel that right now. So you want to talk to that thing that's there, and don't judge it or whatever. Just look and scan it and say, yep, I got something there. And so you want to talk to it. So how you do that is you talk to it and say, well, who are you? And it's like, oh, wow, I have consciousness? I thought I was just hanging out in the bowels, and this is a weird place to be. And it's like, yeah, there's a whole universe to go out and play in, and you've done this before, so I'm going to expand in your awareness to that by asking, who were you before that? Who were you before that? And who were you before that? And now we're going to open up the door for it to go by saying, and who would you like to be? So thank you for this time. You're free to go, and you're now clear of my body, energy, space, and consciousness, and so it is. So, Marie, while we got you there, the thing in your right knee, who are you, who are you before that, who are you before that, who are you before that, who would you like to be? The thing in your lower left belly, who are you, who are you before that, who are you before that, who are you before that, who would you like to be? The thing in your hips, both sides, who are you, who are you before that, who are you before that, who are you before that, who would you like to be? The center of your back, who are you, who are you before that, who are you before that, who would you like to be? The place where your neck and your spine are coming together on the left side, who are you, who are you before that, who are you before that, who would you like to be? And also the thing in your jaw, who are you, who are you before that, who are you before that, who would you like to be? Thank you for this time. You're free to go, and you are now clear of my body, energy, space, and consciousness. Now, anything else that you're hanging on to that you may not be aware of, how you get rid of that is you say anything else, known or unknown, seen or unseen, beyond space, time, and dimension, attached to, in, on, or around my body, energy, space, and consciousness. Who are you? Who are you before that? Who are you before that? And who would you like to be? Thank you for this time. You are free to go, and you are now clear of my body, energy, space, and consciousness, and so it is. So congratulations. You just got rid of your entities.
Oh my God, I gotta go to the bathroom.
Yeah, sometimes that happens. Yeah, we won't talk about that, but yeah.
Well, you know what? Since you've got Marie and she's listening, can you kind of guide her, Bob, to what she would need to do? After this time, now that you've cleared her, is there something she needs to do? Does she need to drink more water? Does she need to lay down? What are your suggestions for her?
So when you're doing that, then what you're doing is that you're asking your body then to just be in balance with the release of any magnetic imaging residue, dross, slime, grime, garbage, junk that you've released by releasing these implants and entities. And then you're asking your body to come into balance as a result of that. So I would recommend that you be kind to yourself. Don't put yourself in any situation where you got a crazy family member that's going to yell at you. Don't drink any alcohol. Alcohol's poison. And just be in awareness and be kind to your body and listen to it. And it'll tell you what to do, because this is your ancient biology. It actually knows what to do. It tells you, well, you got to go to the bathroom. Time to sleep. You're in the grocery store. You're walking along the grocery store, and there's this weird thing that's down on the second shelf down below, and your body will actually point you over to it, and you're like, what? Sea urchin paste? I'm supposed to get sea urchin paste? That's what you want? And then you take it and you spread it on your peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and you're like, man, this is the most amazing thing I've ever had. Your body knows what it wants, so you just got to listen to it. I know that seems weird, but it actually works. So just be in service to the union and communion with your body. So anywhere where you're not allowing yourself to fully, completely be in resonance and conversation and have a full understanding of the requirements, needs, and desires of your body through its cellular memory and ancient biology consciousness, anywhere where you're not allowing that, please cancel, clear, rewrite, reprogram, all that, return times over as well. And just get rid of any judgment that's right, good, bad, wrong, start, stops, fields, secrets, blocks, and overloads. There you have it.
That's awesome. Now, I've got another question for you, and this one is for Jackie. Jackie wants to know, can Bob clear all entities and implants in one zap, or does it take several times?
It takes, I do a process, okay? So in that process, I scan your body. I prefer it if I hold a space for you and bring your awareness on so that you can scan your body yourself, and then you can find these places. But if you can't find the places at that particular moment, I'll help you with that, just like I was able to process Marie. And then if you can see that, you'll feel it in your body, and it'll sometimes it feels like a tingle or an uncomfortable thing or a pain or something different. And then what we do is we systematically go through each part of the body. I usually ask a person to start below their feet and work their way up, and what's the first location that you come to that there's something that doesn't belong to your body. So she's got something in her left ankle, for example, And we would say, who are you? Who were you before that? Who are you before that? And who would you like to be? Left knee, who are you? Who are you before that? Who are you before that? Who are you before that? Who would you like to be? Her belly's pretty clear. That feels good. Lower back, who are you? Who are you before that? Who are you before that? Who would you like to be? Left shoulder, who are you? Who are you before that? Who are you before that? Who would you like to be? And any other places in, on, or around the body, energy, space, and consciousness, known or unknown, seen or unseen, beyond space, time, and dimension. Who are you? Who are you for that? Who are you for that? Who would you like to be? Thank you for this time. You're free to go, and you are now clear of my body, energy, space, and consciousness. Now, see, the thing about it is you can do all this clearing, and you can do all this energetic clearing. And we have these other things that are called energetic cords. Some people call them psychic cords, okay? Now, she's got an energetic cord that's coming through her field and attached to her body. The big mistake that people make in cutting or clearing psychic or energetic cords is that they try to pull them off their body. But the thing about it is the cord is ours. It's our energy. So if I'm holding on to something, it would be ridiculous for me to try to pull my arm out of the socket when I can just let go. And so that's what we need to do with the cord. So that thing in that space, I'm going to ask her to scan her body. I can feel it, but I'd like her to do it. And you will feel in your body where that cord is attached. The cord is yours. So go all the way out on the count of 3 to the very end of the cord. So 1 leaving your body, 2 going out along that pathway, 3. Now you're at the very end of the cord. It's usually attached to a mother or father or sister, brother, somebody that you've come in contact with. And so just imagine you got these gigantic etheric scissors that you can cut that cord. So cut that cord, snip, and reel that cord all the way back into your body, integrating it fully and completely into your energetic construct. And there's going to be a bunch of other cords out there. So same place, same person, all the way to the far end of the cord, cut, snip, 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 and reel all that energy all the way back into your body. Now, all the places you're tricking and fooling yourself up, so any other parts, bits, pieces, fragments, filaments, any cords whatsoever, known or unknown, seen or unseen, beyond space, time, and dimension, cut, snip, 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 now reel all that energy all the way back into your body and bring it forward completely. And so it is. So now she's clear of that one particular person that she had that one energetic cord with. Then you ask, now you did that so well with this one person, how would you like to cut all cords and then have full command of your entire energetic construct? So simultaneously, any person that you've ever come in contact with, mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers, aunts, uncles, cousins, grandparents, childhood friends, schoolyard friends, peers, lovers, anybody whatsoever, known or unknown, seen or unseen, beyond space, time, and dimension, cut, snip, 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 and reel all that energy all the way back into your body, integrating it fully and completely. So now, not only have you cleared your entities and implants, you've also cut your psychic cords. So that's how you sort of reclaim your energetic being. There are other things that we can do, like centering the chakras, doing soul fragment retrievals, but the whole thing is we're scattered all over the place, and we're literally existing in all these dimensions and all these times and spaces, and then we're going to bring all this energy back into the here and the now. So your consciousness knows how to do this already, but it's helpful to get some help. There's a reason why we incarnated on a planet with 7 billion people. Maybe we're supposed to help each other. Okay? So, but the thing about it is, if you have a dream and you're falling off a cliff and all of a sudden you wake up before you hit the bottom of the cliff, that's your soul going back into a previous lifetime to reclaim the fragment that it left there. So what happens is your soul doesn't want to experience the manglement of being crashed on the rocks. So it'll detach from the body very quickly so it doesn't have to take on that trauma. But when there's a quick detachment from the body, there's a soul fragment that's left over. So then the soul can go back in dream time to that previous lifetime, to that death scenario, and it'll pick up that fragment and bring it back. So that's what your body's doing. So a lot of people get freaked out about near-death experience dreams, but that's what's going on. You'll also be drawn to travel in certain areas, and you're going like, I just need to go to Thailand for some reason, or I need to go to France, and you will. And when you're there, you probably had a lifetime there, and you probably left a fragment there, and you can actually pick it up. And that's why people that are well-traveled, you notice that they're a little more conscious. because they're actually reclaiming and reassembling themselves as they go. So it's pretty exciting this way. Peter's got a question, I can tell.
So, Bob, in all of your travels and the people you've helped, what's the craziest experience you've ever had?
The craziest experience I've ever had. There are beings and things and entities and implants that are attached to our entire solar system, just like we would have something attached to our body. Now the thing is that when you go into this slipstream space and you learn to become a master of clearing, there's a process that I use where I call it a love bomb. It's really not a weapon, but it's something that I can just bomb this being and entity with love. So there was a thing in our solar system, a big, nasty, nefarious, horrible thing, and it could wreak a lot of havoc. And I was able to put my essence up in the middle of it and become a vessel of love and dissolved it into non-beingness. And that's the kind of clearing that's actually going on. It's pretty phenomenal. So things like that's kind of like the inner sort of magic realms that I work in. I would never put any person into that type of situation, but it's like it's big. It's big stuff, and when you're face to face with it, it's really a thing. I really don't have words for it, but that's.
So, two more questions. One, the energies you work with or removing while you're helping people, have they ever tried to get inside you?
No, they don't. So, see, something will not come inside you unless you give it permission. One of the real common ways you give something permission to come into your body is if you get drunk. And if you get drunk, your cerebral cortex of the spine opens up, creates a portal, and then all these entities and implants can just come in and go, woohoo, we're going to party in Peter, and they do, and they have a good time. And then you sober up, right? And then all of a sudden you're doing all these really weird things, and you have these strange cravings. This isn't me. Well, it's not you. It's because you allowed all of these entities to come in. So they won't come in your field or your body unless you give them permission. The other weird thing is sometimes you can give things permission to enter your energetic field under duress or torture, which has been perpetrated upon a lot of us in a lot of past lives, and sometimes it can happen now. But once we get clear, then we have full command over our energy, space, and consciousness, and nothing can affect it. The law of free will reigns supreme. You are fully and completely protected. You are a magnificent creator of infinite magnitude. You are fierce and powerful, and anywhere where you're not allowing yourself to fully and completely remember how you are able to create anything that you desire, that you are able to resonate a frequency of love and magnificence in your energetic space, anywhere where you're not allowing that, please cancel clearly right program all that during template.
And can you use any of the talent that you have on yourself? Do you work on yourself with it?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
How do you do that?
Well, there's a lot of things like I've done several projects, and I'm having a personality conflict with a person on this project, and I go, okay, what's up? What's going on? You know, what am I not getting that if I was getting would allow me to have more information and more knowledge so that I would know how to move into a space in ease and grace with this person. And so then when I ask all the past life secret and hidden agendas that I'm running with this person, where I said something that hurt them and they said something that hurt me, or I sabotaged them or they sabotaged me, and as a result I was hurt, wounded, my family was hurt, my crops were burned, animals were killed, I was drawn and quartered, tortured, burned at the stake, drowned, poisoned, strangled, eaten by animals, exiled, sold into slavery, into servitude, and all of the nasty things that humans are doing to each other that I'm maintaining and entraining in my energy, space, and consciousness, I now cancel, clear, rewrite, and program all that a trillion times over, getting rid of any judgment that's right, good, bad, wrong, starts, stops, feels, secrets, blocks, and overloads. So absolutely you can work on yourself.
That's pretty cool. Donna, there's some feedback coming in. You want to go over that?
Absolutely. I've been chomping at the bit because, Jackie, who had questions about, her question was about clearing all the entities and implants. Well, she followed up and wanted to give you some feedback and on there. And so let me bring that comment back up for Jackie. Okay, so Jackie says that was most excellent. I could feel my whole body tingle, and then the top of my head was opened. I could see a white outline around Bob's left side. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jackie. Thank you for doing the work. So, so Jackie, you are a beautiful soul. And the light and the resonance and the energy and the grace that you brought here to contribute to this world can now be fully and completely received. So I want you to know that we fully and completely receive your gifts and talents and everything that you brought here to contribute to this world. There is absolutely nothing in your way that is going to prevent you from giving the gifts that you came here to give for this world. And thank you for showing up.
Now, I want to say something about that because she just put another Facebook post. And now, Jackie, I want you to understand that you are 30 seconds behind us. And so the comment that she had that she just put on Facebook, and it's prior to what you just said, so I kind of go back in the future, I guess, or in the past. But she said something weird like just happened, like jabbed the back right side of my head for probably like 30 seconds. So, Peter, I don't know if you can see any energy, and Jackie, I don't know if you see any energy, some kind of right side.
That was her father.
The back right side or the back left side?
It's the back right side of my head for probably 30 seconds. Something weird just like jabbed in the back right side of my head for probably 30 seconds. So she like some kind of, it sounds like it's pulsating.
So was it an external jab or was it an internal pulse?
Well, we'll have to wait for the response. Okay. But so,
if it's an external jab, sometimes when somebody's running a construct and they're in this thing and they get frustrated and they go, "I'm done, I'm done," and sometimes you'll get a little tap as an exit,
That was her father smacking her on the back of the head for something to do with "wake up, girl," and only she can answer that. So hopefully we'll get an answer from her very quickly.
It could be, yeah. Now there are other things that do occur. So when we do get rid of our implants and our entities, a lot of times we'll feel a release of the energy in different body parts. Sometimes you'll feel it in the base of the skull, back behind that will feel more relaxed and more released. A lot of times I get like in this crown chakra area, or actually it's kind of more like around the third eye. It's either going right through the pineal gland, and sometimes just a little bit higher. Sometimes I will get this resonance that will come out, and it will expand out, and you can feel that. And that will really happen a lot. And sometimes it'll feel like a fountain of light that's shooting out through the crown. And that's expanding your flow and your capacity to move energy through your body. And it will feel sometimes like a magnetic sort of thing, and it'll feel like sometimes it'll feel tingly, sometimes it'll feel like it's throbbing, and that sort of thing. The other thing that can occur it's kind of fun is your body will go through a cyclical movement in this way, almost like you're in a Ferris wheel. And then when that happens, it'll do it for a while, and that means you're getting an energetic upgrade. And so what's happening is your Merkabah field, or your energetic construct, is being pulsed and reconstructed and upgraded, and then it'll come to a point and it'll go up and down just a little bit like that, and it'll come to a place of peace and calm. You can feel that occur sometimes, and that's a real beautiful experience.
That's sorry. Maria. Maria kind of has a question for you.
Hang on one second. Jackie's posting a lot of stuff. Do you want to go through that quickly?
Okay, let me go back there, and then we need to go to Maria, and she kind of has a question for you, Peter. So let me go back to Facebook. Okay.
Dizzy.
Says, it was a jab, then it lessened. She says, my father was a retired Army sergeant and passed in 2002. I can see him doing that, LOL. All right.
Yeah.
Go, folks.
And she probably cut a psychic cord to her dad, and then he was just giving her a little remembrance of him.
Before we move forward, I just want to announce one thing quickly. So we're in season 2 of the MDM show now, and I'm in a very giving mood. And I had a quick talk with Donna before the show, and we decided to allow people to leave some feedback on the website, a review of the MDM show, and the top 1 and top 2 that we do post. One will receive any software package of your liking, and the second one will be a free hour with me. So again, we'll leave this open for a couple weeks. If we need feedback, what me and Don are doing week after week after week, and we appreciate it. And if you can, get those reviews up on the website, we will show our appreciation by, number 1, you'll get a software package, whatever one you want, and 2, you'll get an hour with me. So it's all good. Okay, Donna, back to you. Sorry. You're on mute, Donna.
Sorry. Thanks, Bob, for the universal. You're on mute. So Maria, she had a question, and it kind of has to do with the source 4, Peter. So I'm going to shoot this one at you. What do you know of morphogenic field patterning? I have been told I have low energy in my morphogenic field patterning that causes digestive disorders. Is this something that can be changed with your work with the source?
Well, the first part of that statement is quackery, because I don't know what it was, and I tend to shy away from things that don't make sense. So morphogenic, blah, 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 doesn't make sense to me. What does make sense to me is if you get a glass of water quickly. I'll give you 30 seconds. We'll just clear that up right here, right now. Okay. We're just going to do this. I want you to just raise your right hand over that glass of water 3 inches and spread your fingers. The energy flow will start. Put your attention on that glass of water. Repeat the words out loud. I honor the space in which you exist. Once that energy flow increases, go ahead and drink it now. And then in 3 or 4 minutes, come back and let me know how you're doing. Over to you, Donna. I'm done. Hello, co-host. Hello.
All right. So, lots of great questions out there, and I just want to do another sweep and see if there was anyone else. A lot of times you guys want to ask questions, and you kind of wait to the very last minute, and then, like I said, we're behind.
One thing I love to do is get someone to either post something that they're going through, and then have the host on the show use his style to help them, and then I'll use my style to help them.
Yes.
So we can get that out there. Let's get someone on that's got some issues, whatever they are going on, and we're going to tag team them, get them on the right path.
You know, Barbara had a question. I don't know if Barbara is still watching. Barbara, I hope you are. Ask your questions. But, folks, first one, we've asked questions. We answered questions from Maria and Jackie. So anyone else out there have something they want to?
Oh my God, we got 100,000 people watching us right now, and no one's got a question. I am upset. And you don't want to upset me.
Your chance. This is your chance. You guys do this all the time when we say ask your questions, then you ask after the show. And
That's
then you
because they get mesmerized by the people we bring on the show, and they kind of forget that they're supposed to ask questions.
I know. They're like, wow.
Questions are very important.
Questions are
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. I would like to let you guys know that there's a great transformation that's occurring on the planet right now, and this is happening because we now have a dimensional access to the inside of the planet that we have never had before. And so, if you would imagine that you've got this new Earth energy that's flowing out of it, and it is flooding and filling our oceans with this amazing consciousness. And of course, we are 80 or 90% water ourselves. So just know that the work that you're doing, Peter, is going to be expanded. And then anybody that connects and does work with the water, it's almost as if this water across the entire planet has been infused with a new magic that has never existed or hasn't existed in a very long time. So this is coming, and it's on its way. And brothers and sisters, our oceans are in a world of hurt. I mean, if you look at the Pacific Ocean, we got toxins, we got continental swirling plastic, we got radiation, we got heavy metals, and we got a lot of stuff. What are we at the edge of is the entire algal, the algae in the ocean, which produces 70% of the oxygen on the planet, is in jeopardy. So if we lose that, it's not going to be pretty on the planet. But the thing about it is you, as a conscious being, can make a difference. And you can put your prayers into the ocean, and you can do the work that Peter's doing, and you can work and connect and send your intentions out into the world. And it really does make an effect. So thank you all who contribute to the earth and contribute to the oceans and nature and all of those prayers and intentions. It is very important, it's very powerful, and we're very grateful that you're doing that. So please continue, please continue.
So, why don't we do one quickly?
Pardon me?
Why don't we do one quickly? Why don't we do an intention on the ocean?
Let's do that. Let's do that. Okay. So would everybody imagine that energetically we're able to connect to each other? That we're all able to, let's work on the Pacific Ocean because it's in a little tougher spot right now. And let's put our energetic hands around the entire Pacific Ocean. Somebody imagine that they're in Japan, somebody be in Russia, get somebody in Alaska, somebody take the positions of the Philippines, New Zealand, Australia, South America, Easter Island, Central America, and the west coast of the Americas. So imagine that we're all holding a space and a container for that. Imagine that you're all collectively able to hold that water like you would be able to hold that water in your hands. And so now we're asking the water to release and remove all toxic amalgams that doesn't allow it to move into a healthy, beautiful, vibratory state of cleanliness, pureness, and wholeness. We're also going to be doing demolecular materialization, so undoing any molecules that aren't a contribution to the ocean. We're also going to be doing molecular materialization, which that allows new molecules and new vibrations to come in and assist the ocean at the same time. And let's put our intention into the oceans of a reunion and communion with the pure, clean, vibratory resonance of the beautiful possibility of what an amazing ocean can be. And now if you would also acknowledge the work that the whales and dolphins are doing on the inside of the oceans, and they're connecting with us and working with us simultaneously as we do the work from the perimeter, they're doing the work from the inside. Everybody put their awareness into Hawaii and flow that healing energy all the way out and around, swirling all the way out to the edge of the entire Pacific Rim. So anywhere where we're not continually and fully and completely contributing to the health and the grace and the clean purity of all of our oceans and all of nature in totality across the planet, anywhere where we're not allowing ourselves to do that as a continual practice, please cancel, clear, rewrite, program, all that 20 times over. So thank you, beautiful beings, for this work that you're doing.
That was really cool. Thank you.
So it is. Yes. Yes.
I'd like to just have a 15 moments of silence for Wayne Dyer and what he contributed to everything that we do. So just think about that man and all the greatness that he brought. Cool. I think we have our first victim for the tag team. Glenda posted in the channel. You want to go over that quickly? And then I'll turn it over to you, Bob. And you can do what you do, and then I'm going to do what I do.
You got it. All right. Okay, so Glenda says, I want to remake my life, body, mental, excuse me, mental, emotional, and employment from a traditional job to an MLM, as well as stuff I produce. How do I start? She wants to remake her life.
Okay, so when you're going through a period of transition and you're trying to figure out how in the world am I going to do this, the thing to know and to acknowledge is that you probably already have done it in all of the amazing incarnations that you've already had. So if you would just ask yourself, what am I not getting here that if I was getting would allow me to make a beautiful transition from working for somebody else into working for myself? And anywhere where I'm not allowing that, I can cancel, clear, rewrite, and program all that a trillion times over. And then you could say, what is the value of working for somebody else? And anywhere where I'm not allowing myself to be fully and completely liberated, freed, empowered, and enthused about doing something else, or having the choice to do something else. Anywhere where I'm not allowing that, please cancel, clear, rewrite, and program all that 20 times over. And what is the value of moving into an MLM and into a new venture, and how can that contribute to my life? So anywhere where I'm not allowing myself to receive the magic, the contribution, the empowerment, and the freedom of running my own business, anywhere where I'm not allowing that, please cancel, clear, rewrite, reprogram all that 20 times over. And all of the judgment, the upturning, the contraction, minimization, and reduction of me not being a traditional worker and being an entrepreneur of infinite magnitude, anywhere where I'm not allowing that, please cancel, clear, and write the program of that a trillion times over. And anywhere where I'm going into the either or realities, knowing that if I want to work and do a job and do an independent business, that I have enough power, energy, resources, and enthusiasm to do both if I want, or do neither, or do one, or do the other, and anywhere where I'm not allowing myself to operate in what works for me, anywhere where I'm not allowing that, please cancel, clear, rewrite, program all that a trillion times over. And just get rid of any judgment that's right, good, bad, wrong, start, stop, stay, secrets, blocks, and other things. So the other thing is your new business, whatever it may be called, if you would imagine that you are an infinite being, so connect to the entire universe and draw the starlight from all of the stars, the trillions and trillions of stars that are out there. Draw this energy all the way down into all of the people on the planet that could possibly interact with your business and benefit from the gifts and talents that you're ready to give to them. Pull that into the business itself. Now stream all of that energy into the front of your heart and then allow it to flow right out the back of your heart with ease and grace. Don't hold on to anything. Increase the flow, increase the flow, increase the flow. And when you're done with that, increase the flow, increase the flow, increase the flow. So anywhere where you're not allowing yourself to have a lot of fun by pulling in the consciousness of all that is, through the stars, through all the potential customers, through your business, through you and out, into infinite possibility, anywhere where you're not allowing that, please cancel, clear, rewrite, reprogram all that 30 times over. So play with that, see what happens.
Bob, thank you for that. That was very cool. My approach is very different. Glenda, you're a liar, and I hate to say that, but you are, and you're a procrastinator, and all the stuff that you're experiencing is brought on by your own bullshit. And we're just going to get rid of that really, really quick. And tomorrow you will wake up invigorated and ready to rock and roll. And when you do look in yourself in the mirror, and you see exactly what I'm talking about, because you know exactly what I'm talking about, you won't see the Wicked Witch or the East anymore. You'll see her for yourself, thereby allowing yourself to love yourself, thereby exuberating unconditional love of self, thereby changing everything about you. And it will happen at light speed. So get a glass of water. I want you to raise your right hand over it 3 inches and spread your fingers. And again, this is going to be shocking for you, so get ready. No, this is for Glenda, folks. This is only for her.
Demonstrate it.
That's cool. Bring it on. Just signal me when the energy starts to flow. Just mentally do it. Go ahead. Raise your right hand over at 3 inches. Put your attention on the water and repeat the words out loud. I honor the space in which you exist. And again, folks, this is strictly for Glenda. Go ahead and drink your magic water. And what I want you to do is immediately after you're done drinking it, go look at yourself in the mirror and really look at yourself in the mirror and come back and tell us what happened. But the real changes will be underway in the morning for you. We got lots of stuff popping in there. What's happening?
Yeah, that was pretty wild from both of you. And you know what I have to say? What I like about the show is that it is recorded. Folks, this is recorded live, so you can always come back to the show and listen to it, especially for those who we've been working on tonight and answering questions. You guys should be like watching this over and over again and then telling your friends about it, like, oh my gosh, look, they worked on me, this is what happened. So make sure that you guys take these shows and definitely watch them over and over and over again. And pass them on to your friends. Let friends know and have them come and check us out on Sunday nights as well. So, Glenda had a few comments. For Bob, she said, thank you so much. I will, and yes, thank you. And then for Peter, she says, got it. So
Imagine that!
he hasn't come back just yet, but yeah. Didn't we have somebody else to come back and give us a?
I think we got time for one more tonight.
Okay, let me check.
I'm really digging what Bob does. That's really, really cool stuff. So if there's another victim that wants to jump on board, make yourself known or forever hold your peace. We got somebody?
Love you, Wonder Bob.
Woohoo!
Got
You got
some
a
love
groupie
coming your
following
way.
now. Good man.
We love you too. And you know, if we would say that more often, if we would say "I love you" to each other, it really does make a
Love you,
difference.
Bob. I get nothing back.
What you said? Oh, there was a latency in whatever you said. I got
No, like
and
left
I
me.
was like, I love
I
you too,
said,
Donna.
no,
I adore you, Donna. I'm so grateful. You give so much joy to us, and I just am so grateful for you. So thank you for everything that you do. And Peter, I'm having a ball playing with you. This is really fun. So
Oh,
thank you for
yeah.
holding the
This
space
is
with
what
me.
it's all about. I want to get another victim on here.
All right.
of course, Peter knows I love him too. All right, and I love all of y'all. Lots of love for you.
Oh, Jackie's got a pretty long comment on there. And Gabriella says, my body's buzzing from holding space from Dr. Wayne Dyer. That's a cool one. You want to read the one above it? Because I kind of lose my mind after about 7 words. That's all you, Donna.
All right, y'all mute your mic for me, Bob and Peter. Okay. All right, so going back to, okay, I'm not seeing Jackie's.
Down at the bottom of the Facebook page, there's all the way at the bottom of that comment.
Okay, let me try to locate
You
that.
can expand it down at the bottom.
All right, there we go. Yeah, Jackie. Okay. Oh yeah. All right. Jackie saying, I'm having awesome experiences. I just wanted to be in the Galapagos or Tahiti, but I was put in the water between Tahiti and the Antarctic. I had a huge weight on my chest in a rectangle form from my shoulders and throat to my heart. As Bob spoke, it lessened and seemed to go out like a screen and clearing the ocean. So thank you for that. And then I do see Gabriella's buzzing, and thank you for that. And for folks, just so you know, if you're coming in late and you missed our moment of silence for Dr. Wayne Dyer, we have found out that he has passed away today, probably I think it was an hour or so before our show, and we were in pre-show when we got the message. So you know of Dr. Wayne Dyer, you know of his intention, the work he did with intention, and you know how important that is and how we feel about intention. So please take a moment and send some energy to his family and loved ones and everyone involved around him as well, his children. So, oh boy, the people are like coming in. Julia, what does Julia have to say? Hi, Bob and Peter. I have a problem that has occurred for years. I haven't been on a date for years. How do I find my soulmate? You go, girl. How does she find her soulmate? This is probably a lot of folks' question, and they just didn't answer it.
Well, we could facilitate it in many different ways. You know, we could do it through a personal session. We could do it all kinds of ways. But you know, the first thing you want to ask yourself is, if you're saying soulmate, would you be willing to know that you have many soulmates? There's many, and it's a very interesting process. A lot of times we're looking for the counterpoint to ourselves and somebody else. And you can do that a lot, and you can move into, am I a whole person only if I'm, you know, fully matched up with somebody else? And really, the most important thing in this world is that you look into the mirror and you'll love that soulmate that's there first. And once you can really learn to fully and completely and be a whole being with that soulmate that's in the mirror, then all of a sudden all the other pathways and the channels, open up. There is a difference between a soulmate and a twin flame. There's some different concepts around that. I've met some of them, and they really are beautiful. Sometimes when you get together with these beings, the energy is so great and so amazing that the junk and the garbage that you're hanging on to in your field that will prevent you from having a healthy relationship with them, a lot of those relationships self-destruct. So what I've done is I've invested as much energy into my own clearing and my own vibratory resonance, so that when I know that I'm able to fully and completely receive whoever is coming, the universe has got it all worked out. It's magic how the universe will send the perfect person to you at the right place and time. And it's up to us to be as clear and clean and pure as possible so that we can hear these messages and that we can receive them when they come. So the best advice I have for you is to know that all is well, all is unfolding and working perfectly in the universe. That you are whole and complete with or without a soulmate or a twin flame, but know and read the vibratory field of people that come into your vicinity, and then if you would read the field and then use your awareness to do what works for you instead of just hanging out just to be in a bad relationship just because you're not in a relationship, if you can get rid of that stuff, that would be a good thing to cancel, clear, right, program all that stuff a trillion times over. But we can do the same thing with the energy pull that I taught you to do with the business. You can do it with calling in a lover or a soulmate. If you want to do that, you can do the same thing. So you would connect to all the stars in the universe and then pull all that energy into every possible relationship that you could have on the planet that would be fulfilling, and then bring that into your heart space and allow it to flow out through your heart and see who shows up. You would be able to call in souls that are really beautiful, and then you can make a choice. Sometimes you're creating a construct and you're creating a one-point option of like, I want my soulmate, when the universe is trying to give you a dozen different experiences and relationships that would be even more beneficial. So you can ask to the universe, what would it be like if I could receive fully and completely all the beautiful people that you're sending in my direction, and if I could acknowledge and recognize them when this happens. And anywhere where I'm not allowing that, I'd like to cancel, clear, rewrite, program all that a trillion times over. Getting rid of any judgment, that's right, good, bad, wrong, starts, stops, fields, secrets, blocks, and overloads. There's a lot more stuff that's happening to us in intimacy and relationships, and it takes a lot more time to kind of go through that than what we can do on the show here. That's a whole nother volume. But try the energy pull. Love yourself. Love yourself. Love yourself. Love yourself. And love yourself.
I'm not as poetic, but
He's gonna get harsh. Easy now. Look out.
Your soulmate's 12 days out. They are coming in the form that will just blow your marbles. Mark it 12 days from today. And that's all I got to say about that.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Polish your marbles.
We got Glenda came back with a comment after she did the work from Bob and myself, and she says she went to the mirror as I suggested, and she writes, "I'm seeing myself. I recognize me, but I look different somehow. I can't put my finger on it, but I look different. Can't wait for the morning. Thank you again." When you wake up tomorrow, man, it's a whole different ball of wax. No more lying, no more procrastinating. The beautiful work that Bob did in combination with the magic water is really going to blow your marbles, and I wouldn't be surprised if the top of your crown right now is just blown off and free-flowing. There could be a little bit of mild detox coming with that, and clearly there's a lot of confusion happening in you now because the great work that Bob had done in the water itself. is moving the stuff out of you that needed to be moved out. And the new you will emerge, and that's why I asked you to go look in the mirror. So, bravo. Good job. All right, man. I think we're out of gas and out of time here. What, I can't hear you. What?
I said for her to take some selfies.
Oh, right. Bob, you got any words of wisdom for the masses?
Yeah, what I'd like everybody to know is you guys are infinite creators. You have the possibility and the power to create things beyond your wildest imagination, and you are literally walking and swimming through a sea of contribution. Every molecule, everything is trying to contribute to you, and you have the power to create any reality that you'd like to have. And collectively, we're going to have to get our acts together and recreate a world that's really beneficial, that works for everybody, because this scenario isn't working. We know that. But the good news is that we have the power to change it. We can do that collectively, individually, and I've got full confidence in every being on this planet, because everyone has the capacity to pull off a greater state of being. So thank you for showing up, and thank you for showing up, and thank you for showing up.
Thank you, Bob. I'm a man of fewer words. I'm just going to say thanks, everyone, for coming on tonight. Love yourself, love your neighbors, and thank you. Donna, what's up?
All right, folks, and I'm going to say the same. Fewer words. Again, real quick, please remember to, we're looking for the best review, okay? And then Peter has graciously and generously, yes, mute your mic for me. Peter has graciously and generously offered an hour session with him, okay? And then software of your choice. So 2 lucky people are going to be like blessed beyond measure, I guess is the best way I can put that. So please, we're looking for the best review of the MDM show, and we need that on our website. ModernDayMystic.com, folks. You know the drill. You know where we are. Please let your friends know where we are every Sunday evenings, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Next, we are taking a break just because it is the Labor Day weekend and people tend to do their family stuff, and we appreciate that. So we're going to skip next week, but we hit it hard on the 13th, and we have Aaron Goldsmith coming from Tesla Lights. He's going to be talking about energy and Tesla Lights, and again, another show not to miss. And then we have Ken Rolla on after that. So lots of cool guests that we have coming on the MDM show. So please be sure to join us, and we'll see you. We'll see you. We'll see you not this Sunday, the following Sunday.
Donna, thank you. Bob, amazing. Absolutely amazing. Do you want to just let people know quickly how they can get a hold of you?
Yeah, you can catch me on my website, which is slipstreamintelligence.com, or you can send me an email. That's wonder_bob@msn.com. wonder_bob@msn.com. Also, if you're ever in the Southwest and you really want to experience a conscious community way beyond anything you can imagine, like a Sedona or a Asheville or a Mount Shasta, come to Crestone, Colorado. I would love to show you around. I can take you up on the mountain and show you magical places. I would love to be your tour guide.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Great show.
Good night, everyone.
Good night. Blessings.
Peace and blessings.